humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering.
Right. It says, put on, therefore, as the elect. Now, when you go to this word put on, it's endial, which means to sink into, to clothe oneself. So you have to clothe yourself as the elect. And there's no man in the Bible that was complacent. There's no man in the Bible that's of the elect that's just happy to show up at camp, just being some regular person. Oh, I know I'm an Israelite, so I'm good. There's no man of the Lord that was written and documented that you could look to and say, okay, this was a faithful man. He did the very bare minimum. That's not that's nowhere in the scriptures. Yahweh Shai constantly rebuked the men that followed him, even though they had faith. Some of them had higher levels than others. All right, Peter, Bible Shah for brother can get Matthew 14. Peter had such a high level of faith, he actually walked on water. But then when he lost faith for just a moment, he got rebuked. All right, Thomas, he was one of the 12. He believed in the Lord. He was ready to die for the Lord. But when the Lord resurrected, he was like, man, I can't believe that. I got to see that with my own eyes. So his faith was high, but it wasn't high enough. All right. We always have to have a understanding that we can go from glory to glory. It's not enough to just show up to camp. It's not enough to just say you're an Israelite. It's not enough to just have a t-shirt with fringes. There's another level of faith that you need to strive to reach. You got it?
Yeah, faith shows so much more in a man in which he's committed and dedicated into that which he's entrusted with. Because when the Lord give men faith, men exceed boundaries and limitations, man. They go beyond what the average man think they can go and do. Like even ourselves in this truth, us being small, men of years ago, when we look back at ourselves, the Lord increased us through our faith, man. Because we believe that he's it, that he is, and that he's isn't there's nothing impossible with him, man. You come in this thing of looking, brothers look back on some of the things and that they did for the Lord. It was because the Lord was increasing their faith, man. Whatever you do for the Lord is because the Lord is ramping your faith up, man. Ultimately, right, is making you believe what more and more in him, man. Right? That's just you being of the certain, just being having our spirit circumcised or increased our faith, man. Just learning the word by and by, just to get the blue letter and the online etymology built our faith more. Like, man, damn, well, I could go into words, I could translate this just to hear the Lashwan Kadash built our faith up, man. But you got it, brother.
Bible Shah, read verse 1. We're gonna get that definition of faith. Hebrews
Like
11.
Hebrews,
Come.
this Hebrews 11:1, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
And the brother put faith, early century, 14th century, assent of the mind to the truth of a statement for which there is incomplete evidence, especially belief in religious matters. And when you're in the world, they have this false paradigm that faith is the opposite of science, or faith is the opposite of truth. You either believe in science or you believe in faith, which when you come into the truth, you realize science actually supports the Bible and your faith is backed up by reason. That's why Peter said you have to have a reason in your hope. You have to have in your mind, you have to be able to explain to yourself and others, why do you believe this? Why do you believe you're an Israelite? Why do you believe America's Babylon? Why do you believe Esau is the devil? Why do you believe that we're going to get the kingdom of heaven? The Bible answers all of these questions. All right, we have promises given to us by the Father. We have clues, we have hints, we have parables, we have prophecies, we have history, archaeology. We have more than enough evidence, and then that gives you that down payment of faith. And then you have the things that you can't see. All right, the kingdom of heaven. You have things you can't see, like certain prophecies. We can see the beginning of them. We don't know the exact order that things are going to happen, but there's a series of dominoes that are set up, and it's our job to prophesy these things through faith. We could see the end of this place, man. You could feel that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, if you're spiritual. But you got it out. You had the Matthew or
Yeah, Matthew 13, right?
14 and 25.
Con is Matthew 14:25. It says, in the fourth watch of the night, the Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit, and they cried out for fear.
Right. So imagine you see a so-called black man walking on the water. You can be like, what's going on, man? This is wild. Keep going.
But straightway Yahweh Shah spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I. Be not afraid.
Right. And this is really one of the main themes of the scriptures. All right. Don't be afraid. If Yahweh Shah is with you, you have no reason to panic. You have no reason to be confounded or bugged out when you see certain things that are spiritual. This is something that applies to all of us in all sorts of different scenarios. Yahweh Shah told his disciples, Be of good cheer, it is I. Be not afraid. Keep going.
Man, that word afraid heavy.
You want to go into it?
Yeah, it's phobia, real quick.
Strong's G 5399. Fabeo.
Strong's 353.99 says to put by flight, by terrifying, to flee, be afraid, to be struck with fear, to be seized with alarm, of those startled by strange sights or occurrences, of struck by amazement, i.e. to fear, to hesitate, to treat with difference or reverential obedience, or to fear, okay, to frighten, to be in awe. Reveal, you got it.
God. Yeah, it says to fear, to hesitate to do something for fear of harm. You're not supposed to hesitate to follow the Lord because you're afraid of what might happen. What if I can't come out to the block? What if my coworkers see me? I can't come into the truth. What if my wife leaves me? I gotta celebrate these holidays, man. Valentine's Day. I gotta do it, or else she might leave. You know, the Lord is saying, don't be afraid of these things because Yahweh Shah is with you. There's nothing that this world can offer you that compares to salvation, that compares to the kingdom. And everything this world offers you is going to be destroyed. It's going to be burnt up.
I want to say something too. Then you got the other phase of fear, which is the demon of doubt. You got certain guys in time past, they in fear of coming into the camp with a group of men that's already there before them. All right. Oh, I don't know those guys. Well, we don't know you either. Which you look at you look at everything that happened with the disciples. A lot of them didn't know each other, man.
None of them did.
The faith, right? The Spirit brought them together, man. All right. This whole thing that you see, this is the thing that was done outside of our order, man. This was done by the Most High. All right. Everybody that you see, the whole body of Jim, we didn't originally know each other, but the Spirit brought us together. We go from brothers travel sometimes state to state and be taken in by a man that you don't know in his house. All right, in his company, man. So you can't have that feel. That feel will stop you from even coming into the truth, man. If you're thinking like that, go ahead, Doc.
God, that's a beautiful point. Right, Bible Kushal, give me Baruch 4, 36 and 37. Hold that, Kalai. We can come right back to it because this whole ministry, the body of Yahweh Shai is built on faith. All right, faith is the only reason that brothers from around the world can call on the name Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai with one consent, joined in the same judgment, the same mind. It's through faith. We didn't meet each other in the world and decide, hey, let's throw on some garments. You know, that's not how this came about. This came about by the word. You got it, Doc.
Okay. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 36. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High.
God, and Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Keep going.
Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High.
Right. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One. Faith in the word is what's gathering the elect. The Lord physically scattered his people amongst all other nations, and he's gathering them in the spirit through faith. You hear the word, you're like, okay, that makes sense. All right, the name of the Lord isn't Jesus. The letter J is only 400 some years old. Okay, that makes sense. All right, what's this Yahweh? What's Yahweh Shai? Okay, the 12 tribes of Israel are Negroes, Latinos, and Native American. Okay, that makes sense. All right, you start to believe, okay, the prophecies, man, we're gonna have spiritual power, we're gonna live forever. What? Tell me more. Tell me more. You have an insatiable appetite to hear the scriptures, to hear about the kingdom, to hear about, you know, the different mysteries and parables of the scriptures. And you have faith that what you're hearing is the actual word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's what's gathering the elect. The word itself, faith in the word is gathering the elect. But you can get back to that, Matthew.
Could I make a point real quick?
You got it.
And hey, having faith in this word, what? You read the scriptures and believe in the precepts. And what does it say? Hey, by the preaching of the gospel of this kingdom to the ends of the earth, what it shall bring about the end. And then when you see by you preaching this word amongst the other brothers, and these prophecies become much more faster and come to their fulfillment, what does that just do? It vindicates your faith that much more. It builds it up and makes you want to go that much harder.
Yeah. When you prophesy about the CHIP, and then you see articles saying, look, we're building this infrastructure, we got the blockchain technology. All right, they've just passed this bill. What was that, like 2 weeks ago? They passed a bill for trial testing on the
Neuralink.
Yeah, that boosts your faith. Like, wait a minute, we were prophesying these things years ago, and it's happening right now. Imagine the faith of the apostles. They were talking about this stuff in the 80s, the 90s. You know, America's economy was booming. They're saying, look, the economy is going to collapse and all hell's going to break loose. They're saying this in the 90s when, you know, money's just falling out the sky. Every rap album's going gold and platinum.
Yeah, shit was thriving in, man.
Yeah.
America was back in that time. America just really was in that position of mass production. You had warehouses, you had steel mills, you had most of this stuff was still pushing, man. Now you fast forward to today, those same steel mills, those same different companies that was once old time, they gone, man. Either they gone to China or they just totally out of business. Right? And that was a powerful thing for the men, for the apostles to push that back then, man. That showed you their faith in the scriptures. And it came to pass.
Yeah.
You got that?
You mind if I make just
you got it up.
Just one more quick point. It literally gets so eerie out here to where when you listen to people talk in the world, you think, are they watching our videos? Because they so on point with it. We talk about what? That Esau is the problem of the earth and he needs to go into slavery. And then you have Jane Fonda come out and say all white men need to be locked up because they're destroying the environment and creating oppression and disparity on the planet.
God, everybody's coming to the same conclusion we came through by faith. All right, we believed all these things by faith, and right now the Lord is making it manifest that this is what it is. We believe in certain things before seeing them, and these people are now beginning to see them. So it's like it's obvious. All right, but going back to the apostles. Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say real fast. Only in this time that you see that this Bible has been used with clarity to the fullest of the power through the Habashan Shai down to the apostles. This Bible wasn't utilized the way it's been utilized now. Daniel's been breaking down Revelations, the prophecies, the chip. All right, only now. Everybody had that time. You had Buddha. You had these winky, tacky ass Christians, these pastors. All of them had their time to try to go into it, but nobody went into it. Everybody profited off it by giving you bullshit. Only now the men of the Lord on the scene giving you straight way, giving you prophecy, man, giving you the straight and skinny on who the people are of the Lord. Who's the Lord? Who he's coming to save. It never been broken down like that until now, man. Got it out.
Yeah, Yahweh broke the seals. Tells you that in Revelation 5. You got it, Kaya.
Yeah, if I could say this, faith is one of the only things, or unique gifts of the Lord that you can give unto your brother and still have a boatload for yourself, man. You see? You can distribute faith to everybody and still have enough to save your soul, man. All right, so the Lord have anointed us with faith, man, that we can not only save ourselves, but also help save our brothers, man. You got some men so strong and dripping with faith, man. So when you can sit in their speech, in their walk, in their and a scroll faith, all right, and they, in their everyday lives, man. All right, and there's a gift for the Lord. And we appreciate it, man. It's an excellent Earl. It will not break our head. I got something for you real quick. There's Luke 22 and 23. It says, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Beautiful. Ryan, if you can get Ephesians 2 and 8 to back up Kaya. Read that again, Bible.
All right. It's Luke 22 and 32. But I have prayed for thee, which, yeah, if you read, I'll read the 31. So Jake know what Yahweh was saying he prayed for. It says, and the Lord says, Simon, Simon, it's in red letters, behold, Satan had desire to have you, that he may sift you as wheat, which Satan attacks your faith, man, your confidence. I mean, he can't attack more or less anything else once he got your faith, like y'all cannot say you're gonna succumb to the fear that ultimately what alters your mindset of your protection, which is your Sakura, which it speaks about in Wisdom of Solomon, which is Yahushua. So Satan attacks what you believe and know in Yahushua, man. All right, it says, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Yeah. When you converted, all right, when you turn back to the truth, strengthen your brethren. The Lord give you an abundance of faith. He give you talents. You're supposed to flip those talents. You're not supposed to put it in your pocket and be like, look, I know I'm Israelite. I'm good. I keep the commandments. No, you're supposed to hit the highways and hedges. You're supposed to learn the scriptures and then teach them so that you can convert your brethren. Because that's how we came into the truth.
Yep.
The Lord set up teachers. He set up apostles. He set up camps, churches. And, you know, whether you came across a camp in person or you came across a video online, you were converted by a brother that was following that scripture. A brother got, you know, he got diligent. He started teaching. And then you came across the video. You're like, man, that's the truth. This is a each one teach one ministry.
I got a scripture to back up Kaya about your thoughts get attacked through the mind, man, with doubt. You know, through different spirits or whatever thing. This is 2 Ezra 14. Let me just get straight to the point. This is 14. It says, let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. Haste thee to flee from these times. You got it.
God. Yeah, you got to put away mortal thoughts, man. Mortal thoughts are really the things that you see, the things that affect you right now in the flesh. But it takes faith to put those things off because you can visualize in your mind the latter end. That whatever's plaguing me right now, whatever's afflicting me right now, the Lord can take care of that. It's about the end goal, which is the kingdom of heaven. It's about receiving salvation. It's about being delivered from these plagues that are coming to the earth. All right. When you come into the truth, you actually start to look forward to things getting worse because as your faith grows, you know, okay, wait a minute. The scripture says these people are going to starve, but my servants are going to eat. So if I'm a servant of the Lord, I have faith that when these calamities hit, I'm going to be protected. And when you're in a camp and you are on the highways and hedges week after week, you see the Lord deliver you from certain situations. You see the Lord dealing with certain brothers. You see, you know, we go into a certain topic and then the Lord will send by examples of what we're talking about. The Lord is constantly showing us chariots. It's just your faith gets boosted. The more you have faith in the Lord, the more the Lord turns your faith up. It's kind of like that Esau calls it compound interest. You take a little bit of an investment and it flips and it flips and it keeps getting bigger and bigger exponentially. That's how faith works. You show the Lord, look, I believe in you, and he's going to take the faith that you have and you got to level up, Jake. Jake can't stay in this one little, okay, I know a couple precepts. I know Esau's the white man. I know Romans 9 and just stay on that level for years. That's not what it's about. You got to grow your faith. But you got the Ephesians 2.
Kind. You mind if I bring out a precept real quick just to back up the statement you just made?
You got
about being in a constant state of growth. And
we got to get back to that Matthew 14 too. Hold that on deck.
This is back in Colossians 1:10, that ye might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of the Most High.
Man, read that again. That's right on time.
This is Colossians 1:10, that ye might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of the Most High.
Increasing in the knowledge of the Most High. All right, now going back to Ephesians 4, it tells you that we're all being made to the fullness of Yahushua Mashiach. So that's the body is edifying itself so that we can grow to that point where we have the ultimate faith. Yahushua had ultimate faith. He knew he was the son of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And if we're joint heirs with him, we're supposed to have that same level of faith. Okay, now we're not going to be on the level of Yahushua, but we're supposed to look to him as that ensign, that example of what we're supposed to be. And Yahushua wasn't complacent at all. He wasn't just, oh, well, you know, I'm the Lord. I could just chill. I'm good. I got it. I'm the Son of Man. I got it. No, he proved himself, man. And the Father was pleased with bruising him. You can get that at Ephesians.
This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High.
Right? Faith is a gift from the Most High. That's heavy, man. Okay, whatever level of faith you have to understand that's a gift from Yahweh, so that you can serve His Son, so that you could be a part of the monument, which is Zion. Okay, we're given a level of faith to flip that, man. You have to flip your talent, and when you do that, the Lord's going to give you tenfold. All right, it tells you in that same parable that the man that flipped the talents, he was given rule over 10 cities, man. And the man that didn't, it was taken from him. The little bit of faith that he was given, it was taken from him. Lord, look, I gave you this faith. You sat on it. You didn't do anything with it. I'm taking it. I'm gonna give it to this man that's actually working. That's a parable, but that's really what's going on. And we see it in the truth. We see it every day. We see men that have faith, but they're not doing anything with it. And we see the Lord take it away from them. It's cold. You can get back to that Matthew. Got some good ones on the comment board too.
Counting Matthew 14 and 28. You want to grab some off the comment board when we read that?
We can finish the Matthew first and then get some of these.
It says, and Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water.
Right. So Peter seeing Yahushua walk on water, and he has such faith that he believes he could do it too. And that's how we feel as men of the Lord. Look, if Yahushua could do it, we could do it too. We might not be able to do it to the extent that Yahushua can do it, but we believe that, this man walked the earth. He's from the tribe of Judah. He's an Israelite. He did this, that, and the third. He was oppressed in the Roman Empire, just like we're oppressed in Neo Rome, all right, Rome 7.0. And if he went through his persecution and took it on the chin, we could do the same thing. And since he's glorified and he sits on the right hand of the Father, whatever persecutions we go through, we're going to have that same faith. We believe that. Keep going.
Yeah, by carrying Yahushua reputation, which he came of no reputation, but just to walk in his spirit and to be a follower of him. Like you say, we bear that same faith, man. And we could bear the afflictions. Is not the Lord of balance that we also bear partiality of the faith of Mashiach Yahushua had? He had so much faith that he could distribute it into each and every last one of the 144,000 men, man. Even the ones that believe on him, he could give them a portion of the spirit, man.
That's another good point you just made. You say he had no reputation. When Yahushua walked the earth, certain men were trying to crown him because they knew he was the king of Israel, but he shunned that. He eschewed the pride and the title because he knew what he had faith. Okay, wait a minute. I'm the Son of Man. This whole earth is mine. In the kingdom, I'm going to have everything. I don't want it now. I don't want it in Rome. All right. You have Israelites right now that they want titles. They want lofty positions. They want to be esteemed of men because they don't have faith that they're going to receive that in the kingdom. When you have faith that you're going to be a part of the 144,000 in the everlasting kingdom, you don't want to be the man in Babylon. You don't want to have the praise of these degenerates. These people are about to burn up in nuclear fire. It doesn't matter if they think you're the man. That also goes back to faith. Faith brings humility. Okay, I could take the low right now because I have faith that in the kingdom I'm going to be rewarded. Faith ties into so many other topics, but it starts with that seed of faith. Keep going on.
Yeah, faith wrought patience, man. Patience, right? It worketh suffering and that's why the Lord gave it to us, man. So we can know how to enjoy or basically be blessed for that which we suffered for, man. Ultimately.
Baba Kashaf, if you could highlight this James, because the brother put this, Judah Kazak, Yahweh Shema Shabrakatah.
Hey, shalom, brother. Yahweh Shema Shabrakatah. What's the brother that came out Saturday, right?
Come.
So
right on time.
Shabrakatah.
Yeah, what's up, brother? You talking about the James 1 and 3?
Come. Yeah, this is right on time with what Kaya says. This is James 1 and 3. It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Yes.
Yeah. So having faith, okay, this is what's going to happen. I can't see this right now physically, but I can envision in my mind, the prophets are seers. I see that in the kingdom, I'm going to have X, Y, and Z. So that works patience right now, which the word patience means to suffer. So if I suffer through this, I'm going to receive the reward. And Jake does the same thing in the world, man. Jake, when he can see NBA championship, he'll be in the gym for hours, man. Just training, destroying his body. NFL, same thing. Jake destroying his body because he can see that just the Super Bowl. That's all he can see. Now it's not physically in front of him, but he has that vision in his mind. So how much more the kingdom of heaven? You're supposed to go super hard, man. But you got it out.
Come on, it's 29. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on water to go to the Mashiach Yahushua.
Yeah, so now Peter, because of his faith, is actually walking on water. Now, his faith wasn't to the level that Yahushua's was, but it was such a high level he could walk on water. And that's actually going to happen. Very soon, specific men are going to be endowed with power to manipulate the elements. And it takes faith to believe that. We can see it clearly. We can see, okay, the Lord gave Esau all this technology. Esau is about to use that technology on the Israelites. So obviously some Israelites are going to be given power on the right-hand side. Why would the Lord give somebody he hates all this power on the left hand, but then just leave the right hand just defenseless to be mowed down and killed? That doesn't make any sense, man. Obviously the Lord is going to lift up a standard, and we read that in the prophecies and we believe it. We have faith. Keep going.
Yeah, it says, but when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. He began to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, Yahushua, save me.
Right. So as his faith started to diminish, he started to sink. All right. He had enough faith to walk on the water. And then when a little bit of trouble came, which that's what the wind represents, he started sinking. He started losing his faith. Lord, save me, save me. But the Lord already gave him the faith to walk on water, but he started to lose it.
Right.
Hey, that's why Yahushua in Luke 20, that was 22, said that I have prayed for thee, because who desired to sit from Satan, right?
Satan.
When you go in that word boisterous, that boisterous wind was actually Satan trying to stop Peter from basically becoming or breaking through to that immortality, brother. Like that spirit we're gonna get, that those new being changed, because being changed actually starts in your spirit. That's why the Lord is gonna what? Redo our spirits, man. And then what? Allow it to come into our bodies. So Satan know if Peter walk on that water, it's nothing I could do to get him to go against the word of the Lord no more, man. It's little things like that, man. When you read Hebrews 11, like you started out with, the faith that these men had, they knew, like, look, the Lord, if this, happens, or if I endure this, or the Lord show me this, then what? There's nothing that could come between me and my power, man. So Satan knew that. He knew if Peter step foot on this water, he gonna believe everything Yahushua will say to him and tell him to do, man. All right, without a doubt. But this is that word boisterous right here in the
Strong's G 2478 is churas.
Yep.
It's churas.
And Satan is set up to keep you from connecting fully with Yahushua, man. Becoming completely godly. All right. All the way becoming in the image of our power. That's what Satan is there to do, to hinder you from that. It says strong, mighty, of living beings, strong either in body or in mind, of one who has strength of soul to sustain the attacks of Satan. Strong and therefore exhibiting many excellence, man. All right. So that boisterous wind, that was Satan, man. And that's why Yahushua prayed for us. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, that's heavy. Withstand the attacks of Satan, man. Satan's chief instrument is doubt. If I could plant a seed of doubt, that's going to grow the same way Yahushua plants the seed of faith, and it grows like a mustard seed. Satan will plant a seed of doubt. Maybe we're not the Israelites. Maybe we're African. Maybe you're a Hamite. Maybe the white man is Japheth. Like just little things like that. And then next thing you know, Jake started watching different videos, getting persuaded, and Jake bugged completely out. That was Satan the whole time. Okay.
And to prove that Satan, who is the prince of the air?
Satan, the devil.
We could get that scripture.
Yeah.
Right? He's the prince of the air, so he made the air violent or the wind strong. Right? The wind can go down as what? Destruction or destroying. All right. And Satan was in that thing to take your faith away. And that's what he's around. That's why he won't keep you with a war's me spirit. Oh, I'm not that strong. I'm not able to. All right. You got to really believe in your mind that anything is possible, man. And guess what? The 144, they're going to believe that. And that's why they're going to be changed. It says of inanimate things, strong, violent, forcibly uttered, firm, and sure, man. So that forcible, boisterous, powerful, strong wind was Satan, man. And do it. You got it out.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. The scriptures are manifold because this is something that physically happened, but it also is spiritual. It represents so many things. Like the brother said, the boisterous wind is Satan, man, giving you doubt. And what happened? Peter started to sink. That's why that happened, man. We have to learn from this. We have to learn from examples of men that were given faith and grew in the faith, and you have men that were given faith and they faltered. You know, it's extremely important to learn from this because Yahushua, when he walked the earth as Yahushua, he was perfect. He did it perfectly. You can't learn from Yahushua's mistakes because he didn't make any. You have to learn from men like King David, men like Peter, you know, Solomon, you know, when Yahushua was Solomon. These are the things that you learn from. When you see great men who have great levels of faith and they still falter, you okay, how do I pick myself back up? How do I grow from faith to faith? Which the brother said earlier too.
I got one where Paul talked about it, man. This is I'm gonna go above it a little bit. This is 2 Corinthians 12:4. It says how that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which is not lawful for a man to utter. As such as one will I glory, yet of myself I would not glory, but in my infirmities. But though I will desire to glory, I should not be a fool. For I would say the truth, but now I forbear, least any man should think of me above that which he seeth to be, or that he hear it of me. Now this is the point right here, because it's going into, you know, about Satan, man, and how he's always there. And Paul talked about it, which it goes into many other things too with Paul, but this is the point. Verse 7, it says, and at least I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the minister of Satan, the messenger of Satan, to buffet me. At least I should be exalted above measure.
That's heavy. That's another reason that Satan messes with us, man, because we're not actually supposed to be at a point to where we know we're of the number. Okay, when you read Romans 8, there's a hope. All right, we have to have an expectation, a hope of the kingdom. We can't know 100% that we have it right now, otherwise it wouldn't be faith. We have to know, okay, if I have to keep fighting, I have to keep pushing. So Satan actually, he buffets us to keep us humble, man. All right, we're not going to be low to the earth in the kingdom, man. We're going to know, okay, this is your order, this is your station. We're not going to have to fight demons in our mind. None of that's going to exist in the kingdom. That's right now. That's the battle. That's the condition of the battle today. You got it out.
Right. Even through faith. Let's say something real quick, y'all. Now, you want it? Go ahead. You got it.
I had this little small thing in this little Bible software I got, and it says the buffet to beat in contention, to contend against, as it says to exercise or play to exercise or play at boxing, but it's talking about actually, you know, striking and beating with hand and fist. But it's talking about how Satan definitely he does things to manipulate your mind, to make you go off, and to, you know, even when we go into Ephesians, he sends certain people at you to piss you off and to alter your thoughts, man. All right, to really get at you. But you got it out.
Yeah, to add to you, Ahmad, you made a point, but hey, we learn. I mean, Jake should not waver in his mistakes, but he ought to learn faith through execution, man. A lot of times, Jake look to have a mishap or misfall to be like, my faith is getting stronger. But Jake should focus on the way he's executing in the things that's before him. That should build his faith also. That's the balance. Because Jacob be like, oh, I went through this and I gained faith. Well, what about the things you actually executed? That should also build your faith. All right, go ahead, Amway, you got it. There was something y'all can not say, but it kind of slipped my mind. I want to add that. Go ahead.
And it's like that also to make sure you come out on the other end and give a testimony, so you can give
That's
a
right.
testimony to other men, to strengthen other men too, man. Those are what those different things that you go through are set for. All All right, you go through it. All right, because it's a saying, I believe. It says your best teacher is your last mistake, man.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's your best teacher. Your last mistake you just did, man. And you learn from it. Then you are able and capable of teaching other men about those mistakes because you did it before and you failed miserably, man. And then what you do, you care about the next man, your brother, that he don't go through it, man. You got it out.
Yeah, failure don't show. Failure is not the only thing show fate, but it's also success. Success also show that you built on something, man. All right, where there's a balance, like the elder say, you got to I'm watch like bro.
Yeah, that's actually where confidence comes from.
I'll be right back.
You have a small victory, then you add up a bunch of small victories. That's how you learn how to walk. That's how you learn how to talk. That's how you teach your children anything. Like you don't just hand your son a basketball and he just dunk on a 10-foot goal immediately. Like you learn how to do certain things. You get built up. It's the same thing with faith. You have little small victories. You know, you might have things you go through in your personal life that build you up to come out to the block. Then you start coming out to the block. You might cut your first Edomite. You might exhort Jake. You know, different things happen. It's like, man, the Lord's really dealing with me. And you go from faith to faith. Baba Kushai Raya, if you can get Romans 1:16, you can get that.
I got one more verse in that Matthew.
Kind of. We're gonna get it. We
okay.
Got a couple more verses. Yeah.
Okay.
You want the Romans now?
Yeah. Start at 16.
This is Romans 1 verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Hamashiach, for it is the power of the Most High unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek.
Right, and the Jews, of course, were the Israelites. Yeah, the Jews were the Israelites in Rome that had their heritage. The Greeks were the Israelites that had been Hellenized. So the power of the gospel is unto salvation to them that believe. So that faith is what gives you salvation. You can't enter into the kingdom of heaven without faith. It's impossible to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushua without faith. We keep going.
Hey, if I could say, we're those Greeks now. We're those that are the Gentiles that we've been 400 plus years removed from our much like those Grecians back then, around 400 to 500 years removed from our identity and heritage. And just by hearing men preach the word and having faith to believe first and look into these things. Look at us now. Look at the nation. Look at the elected the nation now, where it's at and where things are going.
God, beautiful point. That's why this ministry is so important. That's why the ministry was so important 2,000 years ago, because they knew, okay, in the last days, Jake is not going to have any access to the temple. Jake is not going to be in Jerusalem. Jake is going to be scattered to the four corners. So the elect has to be gathered through faith. It can't be through your birth records. It can't be through your lineage. Oh, this brother goes back to Levi. This brother goes back to Judah. No, it has to be through faith. That's the only way we can make it. And Yahushua understood that. Apostle Paul understood that. And he was trying to explain that to these knuckleheads in Jerusalem, but they didn't get it. But without that, we wouldn't have any type of access to Yahushua without that.
Verse 17, for therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith.
Right, from faith to faith, from glory to glory. All right, from one level to another level. You have to keep going higher and higher. You can't get complacent with wherever you are right now. There's no option. You can't just there's no such thing as being still. You're either going to get better or you're going to get worse. You're either improving or you're regressing. And if you're not improving, if you examine yourself and you can't say, look, I'm getting better, I'm growing in the spirit, that means you're getting worse. Nobody stays the same. There's nothing in nature that's just perfectly just doesn't move at all. You're either living or you're dying.
I got one for going into what you just saying a second ago about elevating in the spirit. This is I always get this one. This is 1 Corinthians 9:23. It says, "And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be a partaker thereof with you, knowing ye not that ye which run in a race run all, but one receiveth a prize." Question mark. So run that ye may obtain. Right? This is the point. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temporal in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we and incorruptible. But the point is, striving for the masteries, of things in this truth, man. You got it. You want to break it down? Go ahead. Go into it.
Yeah, Apostle Paul, he used sports analogies, which is perfect. Jake is heavy into sports now. You had the Roman fighters back then. You can't just be complacent. Okay, I won. I'm good. Now, when you look at the greatest champions, they were always concerned with their next victory. They weren't just cool where they are. Okay, I'm good at this. I want to get good at this. I'm on this level. I want to get to the next level. That's a true champion. We want to be champions in the spirit. Okay, I'm good with this precept. I want to get good in the law. Okay, I'm good in the law. I want to get good in the Hebrew. All right, I'm good with the prophecies. Let me see if I can be a better brother. The most important things, man. Going from glory to glory. All right, you don't want to just be stuck being a man of the Lord, knowing your 4 precepts. You come to camp every Saturday, and that's it. I'm good. You're not good, man. What are you thinking? We have an opportunity. There's so much in the truth to do, so much to learn, and so many examples to grow. This is the ultimate. When Esau gets you on the job, he tries to woo you and get you to, oh, well, look, if you stay here, you can elevate to vice president. Oh, you could start as a cashier and then you could be the CEO one day, which is all BS. All right, you're not going to go from a cashier to CEO in Esau's kingdom, man. But in the kingdom of heaven, you actually can go from a guy who comes across the camp holding a sign to a speaker. That can happen. Okay, you can actually be someone that seemed as insignificant in this society and actually be a mighty man in the kingdom of heaven. That's something that the Lord has promised. Esau's not going to give you that level of promotion. The Lord is.
Yeah, the Lord, you make you a pillar, all right, within the camp, man. All right. Because they got brothers that got, in the camps, they got brothers that got positions. You got certain brothers are just let's say he don't pertain to a certain position, but his presence is very known within the camp, man. All right, as a speaker, as a all around leader, man. That's important. All right, that's important. He can hold his own. He can definitely do the things that he see the men before him. All right, and then including the apostles. You add the apostles in there too. Go ahead, Doc.
God. Yeah, the apostles themselves, they started out at One West, coming in. You're just a Jake off the street. What's this Israelite thing about? Not the elders of Israel, man.
Yeah, but that goes into what we always talking about. In order to be a great leader, you first and foremost have to be a great student. You got to be a student in the game and master that. Master listening and taking orders and doing the little things. And then you become a great leader. A leader of men. All right? Well, brothers are actually could be led by you, man. Everybody, we just ain't sitting around 30, 40 men on a block. Now, the Lord, first and foremost, the Lord is making, all right, leaders. That's why I think the word, that's why he called us ambassadors too. I think the word ambassador goes into a servant, if I'm not mistaken. We're ambassadors of Yahawashi, all right? Or representation, we're representatives of Yahawashi in the ushering in the kingdom. So you gotta play your role, man. All right? Go ahead, Doc.
Back in that Matthew 14.
It's Matthew 14:31. It says, and immediately Yahawashi stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?
So Peter, his faith faltered and he started sinking into the water. And Yahawashi said, oh, ye of little faith. Now, did Peter actually have little faith? No, he had enough faith to walk on the water, but it wasn't enough. Yahawashi wasn't like, oh, that's good enough. Or you walked on water for a little bit, you good. No, he said, oh, ye little faith. Like you believe this much, and then you let Satan come and scare you? Because that's all that is. Doubt is just fear. All right. What is that in Wisdom of Solomon? It's the betraying of the succors. All right. So you actually believe in your mind that this is the truth, and then you let Satan enter something in your head. Next thing you know, you following bug outs, you being a weirdo, you not coming to camp, you just going back into the world, being destroyed. Because Satan took you out of the truth with doubt. That wouldn't happen if you took your faith and you flipped and allowed it to grow, to increase, like the brother brought out. But keep going.
Oh shit. It says, and when they come into the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped the Son of a true, thou art the Son of our power.
Right. So Satan left them alone when, you know, they came into the ship, meaning they were with Yahushua. Satan couldn't harm them, and they acknowledged that this is the truth. That's why when the fake disciples, when they left, Yahushua asked, "What are y'all about to lead me to?" They said, "Where are we gonna go? You the truth. Where else is there to go?" That's one of the highest levels of faith, when you understand that there's nothing else this world has to offer you. There's no other philosophy that's gonna tell you who you are, how you're supposed to move in these last days. So if you're not in the truth, where are you gonna go? We don't have a plan B. All right, we don't look at, okay, we're gonna try this truth thing, this Yahushua thing, but if that doesn't work out, then I'm gonna go back to the Black conscious community. I'm gonna go start a 501. We don't have a plan B. This is plan A, and plan B is to finish plan A, which is to get a crown by Yahushua Mashiach. That's where your faith has to be. If you have a plan B of the truth, if you on some, well, just in case this doesn't work, just in case the prophecies don't hit, I want to make sure I have enough crypto to, come on, man. You bugged out, man. The Lord is going to destroy this place. You have to have faith in that. And he's going to deliver his people from that destruction. You have to have faith in that too. You have
to have faith while you're in the truth. And if you don't, how shall you abide, man? Even if we have faith in all the things that come, if you don't have faith in the truth, how you going to remain, man? How you going to stay in it, man? You see, you got to have it in the thing that you in, man. Knowing that is of a truth, is of a certainty, man. All right. Jake like to say, use the cliche, two things for certain. The dying and paying bills. Whereas two things for certain for us, man. It's having faith and being saved, man. It's salvation. That's it. Our faith have changed from dying and just existing or just paying bills. The new faith, or the new thing when you've been on a new creature in the Mashiach Yahushua, is actually what? Being saved and having faith to be saved. Is the greatest part of being saved. The faith that bridges the gap. This is James 1:6. It says, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. Nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, which we was talking about in the Matthew, driven with the wind and tossed. Satan got him. You got it out.
That's beautiful. If you wavering, then you really don't have faith. Okay, faith comes with being confirmed. It comes with being established. You're planted. You're rooted firmly. You can't waver and say you have faith. Those two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. Either you believe or you doubt. You have to go from belief to stronger belief and stronger. It's imperative that you don't get complacent in the truth, Jay. And mainly this is to the body, to brothers that already have faith, you know, to not take it for granted and to not sit around and say, look, I'm doing enough. I took a test, a trooper test, I'm good. I understand, I took a Samuel test, I'm good. You have to always strive for more in this truth, because that's really why you're here. You're here to get better and to get closer and closer to Yahushua. And that process is going to continue until the Lord comes back. There's no, I hit the finish line, but you're still in captivity. Which we're not even going to get into certain individuals saying that they already obtained certain things, but they still go to work. Their body ache. They still die. Like it's madness, man.
Yeah, faith is the principal thing, man. Because even through your faith, you influencing brothers, you're empowering brothers, man. You're instilling self-sufficiency, man. And while doing it, to see if this should build a man faith, to see if you tell a man something and he actually listens and hearkens to it and actually applies it and become a stronger man, that should build your faith as well, man. All right. Ultimately, we're doing all things through the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, through the Spirit, all right, which enables all things. But ultimately, man, to empower, bro, with a faith-based solution, man, that's the greatest thing. Because we all got established, like it says, continue to be grounded and settled in the truth. Bible Raya, if you could grab that, to be grounded and settled, all right, which creates a stability, because the waver means to lean, meaning eventually if you lean it, you're going to fall. All right, you're going to get to an angle to where you can't keep your balance anymore. All right, but to be stabilized is to have that faith grounded. All right, and for sure, you got it, brother.
I got
Yeah,
one.
pulling it up right now.
I got one while you're getting that.
Oh, you got it, Gonna.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5, and I'm gonna read down. It says, "For there is one power and one mediator between Yahweh and men, the man Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who gave unto himself a ransom of all to be testified in due time. Whereunto I obtained a preacher." My bad. "Therefore I am ordained a preacher and an apostle. I speak the truth in Hamashiach, and I lie not. A teacher of the Gentiles in faith, in what is it, verified, blah, blah, provided. I said it kind of wrong, but the next point is 8. It says, "I would therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting." The point is without wrath and doubting.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be doubting, man. You can't be doubting out here, man.
And notice how it coupled wrath with doubting. Like, two things the Lord hates. You lose faith, you anger with your brother. Those two things are lumped together, man. You gotta have faith. When you have faith, you can patch things, situations. Okay, I believe I'm a man of the Lord. I believe this is a man of the Lord. We can either go our separate ways, or brother might get suspended and come back. Brother might have an alt with a brother, you forgive him. These things are based on the faith of the ministry. If you believe in your mind, okay, I'm just a nigga, it's just a nigga, you're gonna have a bunch of nigga moments, man.
You might have a Paul and Barnabas moment where you have to separate for a while, but then you come back, you reconcile and you come back.
God. You want to say something?
Yeah, you got the precept. Nah, faith
I got
is
it for you.
a repair mechanism. All right, because really, Jake, without faith, he's a broken man. All right, but there's something that needs to repair that man. All right, you're a broken man without faith, especially in the truth. It's like it's almost asinine to be serving the Lord without faith. And I'm gonna say this: brothers with more portion of faith than other brothers. Because yes, I said it. There are some brothers with a greater portion of the spirit of faith than other brothers, but that's for the strength of your brothers. So you got to distribute your faith. All right, it's not a thing that's for you. Ultimately, the Lord put in your spirit that you may strengthen the other men that are weaker and without it. All right, but you got enough faith to give to your brother and still get saved, Jake. So don't be stingy with faith. Faith, man. Or tight-fisted with it, man. That's for the Lord too. Because if the Lord put an element in your spirit was created to serve the Lord and fulfill the will. So you got to work what's in your spirit and your talents and give it out, distribute it, man. You want to say something, Mama Wide?
John, you said without faith, you're a broken man. Yahweh Shai told the blind man, look, your faith has made you whole. Faith
made you whole. That's right. That's right. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. I just wanted to print this out. I could break it down. Go ahead.
This is back in Colossians 1:23. If ye continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven, wherefore I, Paul, am made a minister.
You got it out.
Yeah, to be not moved. When you hear the word, you're supposed to hear it. You're supposed to take it seriously. It tells you in Habakkuk, he that run. All right, when you hear the word, you're supposed to run. You're supposed to change your life. You're supposed to repent fully. And when you do that, the Lord's going to reward you. And that reward is going to boost your faith. Like, man, I was afraid to cut off my dreadlocks, but I did it. I feel so much better now. Jake have all kind of testimonies coming out of the world into the truth. And that all starts with being converted, which starts with faith. You have to have faith to actually change your life and turn your whole life around for the Lord. Every man of the Lord you see on the camera, you see in these camps, we've all come out of the world from different various walks of life and put all of that aside to serve the Lord wholeheartedly. Why? Because we were given faith. There's no other reason. We don't receive Esau's not giving us a check for doing this. All right, we looking forward to that penny from Yahweh Shai. That takes faith. All right. Now Jake has faith that if he works 2 weeks, after 2 weeks he'll get a direct deposit. But now you've seen these banks shut down. You might not even see that, man. So Jake will have faith in Esau and his madness, but then when it comes to the power of heaven and earth, they'll just do lip service. Yeah, I believe in the Lord. Yeah, I'm an Israelite. Yeah.
Like I always going to, Jake had more faith in a chair than he have in the Lord. What I'm saying by saying that, you walk into a building, you just sit your ass down. You don't know if the screws are bolted down or what, but you have faith that chair is gonna hold your ass up. It's sad though, man. You know?
Yeah. Then when it comes to the Lord, who wrote that book? Who is King James? What? Show me a blood certificate. Like, give me a DNA test. Like, what are you talking about, man? It's the word of the Lord. You have faith, or you not have faith. As simple as that, man. Jake wanted a diagram with. Oh, you got it, Doc.
I was just gonna make a quick point. The brother
Thomas. Go ahead.
The brother Quara in Houston, when we were down there fellowshipping with those brothers, once made a statement before we had camp that's always stuck with me since then. Kind of backing up, I believe it was something you just said, Amawad, where it's like, hey, we pretty much, cast off everything on this side, our aspirations and our ambitions to follow after the Lord. He said, hey, that goes to show the power, pretty much the power of faith. We put our whole entire life into believing something we so-called read out of a book. We changed the entire course and direction of our life over the words we heard from men preaching out of a book. Changed our diet, changed our mindset, just our whole philosophy and outlook over just words we heard.
Yeah, that's the power of faith.
I got this one too. It just basically defines fate. All right, when Yahushua was dealing with Thomas, this is John 20:29. It says, Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. All right, but he says, blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed.
And again, Thomas was one of the 12. So even though he had a moment of doubt, some of the so-called scholars, they call him Doubting Thomas, but he was one of the 12 apostles, man. He had full faith, but he had a moment where he's like, man, I can't believe this. And that's to show us, how should I say? Read that again, the last verse.
It says, blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed.
Yeah, and that's us right now, man. You have certain brothers that walk with Yahushua 2,000 years ago, but in this final incarnation, none of us have seen Yahushua physically, but we see him through the scriptures. Like Raya just said, we see something, we read something in a book, and we're crazy enough to believe that it happened. We're fully persuaded in our minds that these promises are going to come to pass, which that's all prophecy is a promise from the Most High. All right, that word, I like to go into that word guarantee. Guarantee is a promise in writing. That's what the Holy Bible is to the sons of Israel. It's a promise in writing. And we have faith. We have super faith in the Bible. We don't have faith in Esau's contracts. This man will write a 400-page contract and then put like a tiny line at the end called the fine print. Everything you just read and signed doesn't count because of this one little paragraph. This total madness, man. We have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not Esau and his system.
Hey, because Yahushua is the anchor to our souls. Which ultimately is the strength, which what it says, I have all faith in Yahushua, which strength that strengthens me. All things are possible in him that strengthens me, or something like that. I paraphrase it. Yeah. So because he's the anchor of our soul, man. That's what holds down our napash, which is our faculty of knowing, our faculty of feelings, the seat of feelings, man. The different things of that nature, man. Our spirit, man. All right, our souls. That's why he said, behold, all souls are mine. All right, meaning the Lord is going to strengthen us. Yahushua says that in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua says that in Ezekiel 18:4, behold, all souls are mine. All right, so the mind, the Yahushua have to strengthen, man, which anchors you down in the truth. But that's all I got on.
Right, you can give me Proverbs 3:26. We can end it on that because, like the brother said, man, Yahushua is the anchor to our souls, and an anchor keeps a ship from drifting off just going back into the sea, wavering too much. You got different types of anchors, but Yahushua is that it's stuck, man. The boat's not moving if you're rooted in faith.
Paul said that. Remember the ship crashed, and he said none of us will die on this ship when he was in the deep, because he knew Yahushua had the ship, man. All right, Paul, like none of us gonna die, man, on the ship. But you got it, bro.
You mind if I start at verse 25?
Oh, you got it.
Okay, this is Proverbs 3:25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh.
Perfect.
For,
It goes back to what Yahushua told Peter. Be not afraid. All right. This Bible's supposed to fill you with a sense of calmness. That's why it's called the comforter. The understanding of the scriptures, the understanding of prophecy is supposed to comfort you. Keep going.
verse 26. For Yahweh shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken.
Right. And confidence means what? With faith. You have the prefix con, and you have the root word, which means faith. So if you're with faith, that's going to keep you from being taken by Satan. That's going to keep doubt from creeping into your mind. And if you are presented with doubt, you have the scriptures to combat it. Just like Yahushua when he combated Satan, man. We have everything we need. We have the whole armor. We have the helmet of salvation. We have all the tools we need to make it to the kingdom. Yahushua gave us everything that we need. That's why he said, that which thou has, hold fast, man. Hold on tight to everything I've given you. That's what we need to make it. That faith. Yeah,
I got something to close y'all, brother.
I had a precept too.
Hey, Ryan, get yours. I'll close with mine.
Kind. And
it's a bad one. And it's a bad one up in First Peter's like 1 and 7 on down. It's a bad one. I don't know if you want it or not.
We'll get them.
But yeah, this is just another account dealing with the apostles, because you brought up the Matthew 4.
Yeah, we got to get that, Peter. Yeah, but you got it up.
Kind of because you brought out the Matthews 14 earlier, and this is dealing with when the man's son was afflicted with that demon, and the apostles couldn't cast it out, but Yahushua casted it out. And they asked Yahushua why. This is Matthew 17 verse 19. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? Verse 20. And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that's another one of those scriptures that so-called Christians completely mangle. When the Lord said have faith as a mustard seed, he doesn't mean that your faith should be this small. All right, a mustard seed starts as one of the smallest seeds, and it grows unto one of the largest vines in the world. That's what he meant by that. He didn't mean you just need to have a little faith, sister. Just give a little bit more to the collection plate. That's not what that's talking about, man. At all. You got it, huh?
Hey, we started out small-minded when we came in this truth. Now we thinking about many mansions in the kingdom. We thinking about immortality and dominion. So you see where our minds came from, on the corner, maybe smoking a cigarette, into having dominion and everlasting immortality, man. You see what that did? But like the brother said, you think small, you get small. All right. And that's why the men of the 144,000 elect men, they're going to break through with their faith. It's going to break the realm in which they're in, which is going to exceed everything. Just like Lucy, man. If it show you in that movie how mine got more and more and more until it conquered all things. That's why the Lord said we are more than conquerors. All right, like we gonna conquer more than we could think, man. All right, and that's why, like the brother says, a good point. We gonna be we ain't gonna be able to fathom what we actually can do, man. That's how much we gonna get through faith, man. You got it, bro.
That's a beautiful point. You can't think small in the truth. If your mind is on heavenly things, if your mind is on ruling dominion, different planets, ruling different nations, you're not going to go back into the world for $20 an hour. You're not going to fall out of the truth for just some scallywag, man. Your mind is on conquering nations. There's nothing this world has to offer you. There's nothing Esau can give you in this world that compares to the kingdom of heaven. That's why your mind has to be single-minded. Your eye has to be single. You got it. You wanted to get to Peter first.
Get to Peter first. All right.
Yeah, I'll read it. This
Okay.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse, I'll start at 7. It says that the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Mashiach. Yeah. So our faith is being tried, man. Just as, gold is tried in the fire, faith is more precious than gold. Think about how precious gold is. The Lord is saying our faith being much, much more precious than gold. So we're the Lord's jewelry, man. He's trying our faith. We're being polished right now. We're being shined up in the spirit. And in that day, man, when our people are going to be willing in the day of our power, man, that's going to happen. We have faith in that. It says, whom having not seen, ye love, in whom, though now ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. Right? We haven't seen Yahushua, and he, like I said, in our final incarnation, but we see him in the scriptures, man. And we have joy that's coming. We look forward to Revelation 1 and 7, him cracking the clouds, every eye seeing him, just time freezing, all hell breaking loose. These people are going to be panicking, screaming, bugged out. We're going to be a little, our heart might, our hearts are going to accelerate, but we're going to be excited, man. We're not going to be terrified, like, oh no, it's an angel. We're going to be like, how about Yahushua? Yahushua now would deliver us, man. That comes with faith. We read salvation in the scriptures. We read the 144,000 getting beamed up, getting crowns. We believe that we have a possibility of being part of that number. Strong faith. But you got it up.
God. This 1 Timothy 1, I'm going to start at 17. I'm going to read on down. It says, now unto the King, eternal, immortal, invisible, the only wise God, our power, be honor, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, be honor and glory forever and ever. Amen. This charge I commend unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee, that thou by them mightest war a good warfare, holding faith and a good conscience, which some have put away concerning faith, have made shipwreck. Right? So if you put away any partial, if you do anything in faith in partiality, you're going to put away the prophecies that went on before us, man. The things that was put before us, the covenants, the promises of our forefathers, the writings in the old sayings, you're going to put in jeopardy. If you don't have faith today, then you have put in jeopardy the sayings of Abraham, the acts of our forefathers, Abel, those in Hebrews 11. Those are, you basically disannulling those things, man. All right, the things that was put before us that we can actually have faith. There was men in accounts that have faith before us, so we can have faith today. Faith is instantaneous, man, and it leads to salvation. You got to have faith today to have faith tomorrow, man. All right, you can't skip the process of faith. It says, of whom Arminius and Alexander, whom I have delivered unto Satan, that they may learn not the blaspheme, which basically shows that when you don't have faith, you automatically go to that destroying and boisterous wind. That's what you're given unto, all right, to actually be what? Conquered and taken advantage of, man. Okay, ultimately. So if you don't have faith, you're going to be made shipwrecked, whether that's in the truth, in a regular world, no matter where you at. If you don't have faith, you're going to be shipwrecked, and what? You're going to be swallowed up by the deep. You got it, brother.
Yeah, you're going to be taken away by that boisterous wind.
That's it.
Because you're not grounded, you don't have that anchor, all right? But Abaratazah, this lesson was edifying and exhorting. You said another one?
Said like Snoop said, if you ain't, well, we're gonna remix it. If you ain't got faith, you bound to drizzle, man. Bound to drizzle.
Absolutely. So with that, we pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. We're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.